Episode 8 of the L Word Generation Q is out. We're going to talk about Alice's big speech and, of course, Dana's big moment within that speech. We're going to talk about Dani and Gigi, the newest favorite couple of the franchise. I'm also going to hit on the writer's room and what's going on in their minds. And at the end of the video, I'm going to give you my predictions for how I think the season is going to end. All right, let's jump in.
He doesn't know that I slept with Nat when he was in New York.
You can risk telling him and lose him, or not tell him and live with a lie.
The story with Alice and Tom, that was way out of left field for me. They started out with this being a rebound bang sesh from Alice being brokenhearted over her breakup with Nat, and all of a sudden we get to the next episode and it's an exclusive relationship and Alice cheated on him and we've got Tom crying in the green room. Are we as an audience supposed to assume these two people had a what are we discussion and we just didn't get to see it on screen? Okay, I am going to try to put myself into Tom's shoes. A chick that I'm into has her heart broken and then surprisingly, jumps my bones when I didn't expect it. If I'm Tom and I actually really do have feelings for Alice, I almost wish in that situation she didn't tell me she banged somebody else. Maybe later on when we have that what are we discussion, maybe later on when we decide we're gonna get serious as a couple, maybe I reveal it, maybe I don't. But if there's no spoken we're in an exclusive relationship thing, at this point, that's just gonna hurt my feelings. This was just another plot line that confused me, you know? I just feel like this season, I'm just way too often, I'm like, what? You'd think we were watching Jeopardy. No, it's supposed to be a scripted show about lesbians. The single saving grace of this episode is that we got to see a little bit of relationship development between Dani and Gigi. My wife correctly pointed out that the Dani-Gigi hookup scene at the beginning of this episode would have probably fit in a little bit better at the end of last episode after they had their big kiss in the rain.
I go with that.
She already did. Numerous times. Did you forget that? Moving on to their fight.
Hi, sorry. That was my dad. We are officially in crisis mode over the CAC endowment. I gotta go run to meet the legal team.
You're in crisis mode or he's in crisis mode?
Well, the endowment was my initiative and it's blowing up in my face, so I have to go sort it out before things get worse. Okay.
Do you ever see me?
That's not an option right now.
Is it ever?
Okay.
Oh, hello! Damn! Dani and Gigi been banging, 5 minutes? And Gigi is already reading Dani like a lesbian prophet. There was a lot of debate over who was in the wrong and who was in the right here. For me, you gotta side with Gigi, who is staying calm and who is just asking questions and being curious. But because Dani senses, holy shit, Gigi just called me out on my daddy dynamics, and I do not like to be called out on my daddy dynamics. She panics and she runs. The real question, if I'm Gigi, is why the did you, shoulder shrug, your dad tricking you into being the CEO of his drug profiting company? What? I have a question. Why does Dani not give any about being totally used and manipulated by her father? Meanwhile, Alice gives all the about cheating on somebody she rebound banged after breaking up with Nat. Which brings me to the Alice portion of this video. Don't think that I'm sleeping on the fact that Alice is wearing a dress that's basically a bunch of done in the style of the lesbian pride flag.
I'd like to read from my favorite chapter in the book, titled Dana. But I still regret not being there. I would have held her. I would have told her it was okay to let go.
Oh, wow.
Or I hope I would have anyway.
You know, I'm not even some big, Dana die hard. Like, I agree it was probably the biggest mistake they ever made, killing her off, but I've moved on. Whereas I have friends in real life who have never moved on from the L Word killing off Dana. This was a nice moment. It was also really sad. And, you know, I rip the show apart all the time, and I'm not going to stop. Like, the rest of this video is going to be a bloodbath for the writer's room for me. But this, I think they did pretty well. I think Dana's legacy they've handled, like, pretty well. This is what we know best about the writer's room, right? They will do anything to create plots, to create drama. Just like anything. I don't even know if they remember all of the various storylines they've started. Whatever the show needs drama-wise, we can make it happen. I mean, they have given us almost nothing to hold on to root for. Maybe Dani and Gigi, maybe we still have them. But besides them, what are we rooting for? Which leads me to the real common denominator of the series for this season: chaos. Nothing is grounded. Everything is chaos. They've thrown together and broken up so many relationships. Like, who can keep up with this lesbian merry-go-round of relationships? It's almost like a joke. Oh, who are they gonna just shove together next week? I guess Tess and Ben have never like, that's it. Oh, are they gonna have, at the end of the series, we're gonna learn this whole time Sophie's been in love with Alice. Like, any of that's believable. And, you know, in the original show, there was a lot of chaos, but it wasn't like a soap opera, right? They were able to draw these plot lines out and bring them in a way that felt at least relatively believable. This last episode that happened, my wife was literally like, oh my God, that was like a soap opera. So we're quickly coming to the end of season 2 here. We've got 2 episodes left. On the one hand, it's really hard to predict what's going to happen because of all the chaotic writer tendencies. On the other hand, chaos can be somewhat predictable in that, like, I think the writers are going to do all of the craziest things, the most dramatic outcomes possible. They might break Bet and Pippa up. They might leave them together. I mean, at this point, I do like Bet and Pippa as a couple, but also Pippa's a little bit like Tess in that, like, we don't know much about her. We know she's a great artist. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not sure, like, I care one way or another. Like, they could keep them together and I'd be like, great. They could break them up and I'd be like, The fans love Dani and Gigi, so they're for sure gonna set that relationship on fire. I'm just kidding. The writers in the writer's room must know that there's been so much lesbian partner swapping that they've got to keep at least one couple that the fan base likes strong. So I'm actually thinking that Dani and Gigi are going to make it out of season 2 together. Maybe I am overestimating the writers. That would be so insane if they broke Dani and Gigi up after all of this. What else is there left to predict? Oh yeah, Micah and Maribel. Another relationship they threw together. It was really weird to watch, like, what seemed like a really awesome date end with him realizing he's in love with Maribel. Again, it just goes back to, like, we have no idea why he's in love with Maribel. We really don't know. Other than the random 49 Love and Basketball references. They do have the Tina Carey relationship to wrap up as well, and I think if they give us more good TV with Carey, that will help me maybe be able to look back at this season with rose-colored glasses and be like, oh, it wasn't that bad. But let me know your predictions for the future. As always, I have been Amanda. This is my Really Gay YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next video.